Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another Warcraft replay. Here as we get into it, we have a Knight of Mirror. Technically, Netease ladder, it's not really technically, it's from the recent Gold League, Pro Qualifiers specifically. This is Group 2, Game 3 of a best of 3 in the quarterfinals between ReMinD and Czech. I just realized that the tracker's not working well. Is it because we have an observer? I don't know. Could have sworn I worked with observers. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? Because this is the second game I'm playing with this thing and it's not working. Hopefully it tracks the heroes. I'll have to I'll have to constantly switch between players to, you know, give a supply count, I guess, but I'll just stick to ReMinD for now. So yeah, let's just treat this as a Netease game, just with higher stakes, so maybe these players will play, you know, to the best of their abilities. We'll see. ReMinD's winning as the red Night Elf player on the top right of Twisted Meadows. ReMinD, the king of Zotac, could have sworn he retired, but has been showing up here and there. Yeah, I mean, might as well come back, I guess, with how popular Night Elf is. Although I'm not sure with how many nerfs they keep eating, but we'll see. Speaking of retired players, Czech is also popping up here and there as well. Not much else to say about Czech, to be honest. Hasn't really had much under his belt, to be fair. He's had players play with his name, I guess. Lin, Moon, both these players have played on the Czech group before, just as an homage. It seems the hero tracker is there, so I'll just keep this booster tracker on for, I guess, the remainder of the game. It is unfortunate that I can't simultaneously track both players. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess I can't track Czech stats, because when I switch over to Czech's perspective here, it still does not track, so
your building is complete.
Yeah, I guess for now I'll just stay on Czech's perspective so I can keep track of the resources and whatnot over here. You guys won't be able to see it, but I'll just point it out when I need to. So priestess start for both sides. It's
your building is complete.
Interesting, because
your building is
it does seem like we're gonna skip archers, since archers are, it's a weird case, mass archers versus mass archers, because Elun's Grace kind of has weird interactions with the archer's piercing, where that
your building is complete.
You want to do as much damage as possible with your True Shot aura, but because of Elun's Grace, it's inherently mitigated. So yeah, this rush into Huntresses makes a lot more sense, especially since both sides are basically doing it. Pumping out Huntresses from 2 Ancient of Wars here. Interesting placement on Czech's second Ancient of Wars, so this is going to get pulled while it's being used to reduce Huntresses. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Czech is just trying to set up for some early Ancient of War creeping. But yeah, Czech is not having any of that, since he put both of his Ancient of Wars at his main base. We do have a tower being placed down next to Czech's base. Not actually sure if it's not been spotted just yet. I don't think Ultravision is completed. I'm pretty sure it's on its way. Maybe not. No, it definitely does look like Ultravision is done. I guess the trees are just blocking the view. So right now, 35 versus, what is that, 32? 31. So slight advantage for for Check. It's just that, yeah, not all of his Huntresses are at one place, so he is being run down by ReMinD. ReMinD should be starting his creeping. I guess, pretty sure that is what his Ancient of War is used, was placed down here for. Check is just going to be starting out this little Overseer camp here. It's not going to give him level 2. But yeah, it'll be very close to it. Sentinel upgrade is on the way for someone. I think it was ReMinD. Yeah, his tower is now placed down and is going after this Ancient of War here. Check was a little busy doing the Overseer camp, is going to pick up +6 attack. Can he do anything about this though? He's going to lose one of his Ancient of Wars, which is kind of a big deal. And we have a surround onto a Huntress. Shadow melding is in progress, but with that Sentinel upgrade, we will just be able to spot those invisible units there. So yeah, in essence, Shadow Meld is kind of useless, at least for now. Kind of has to force your opponent's entire Huntress army to use their owls, but yeah, the second Ancient of War is now under fire. We do have Glaive Throwers being produced here to try and counteract the push, as well as the tower pressure as well. Tower of Check's own is on the field here. More Huntresses trying to be sniped off. Moonwells are going to be used to try and keep these guys alive. And I believe Check is looking fine right now. He is able to keep his units alive long enough to just, yeah, do enough. And it is going to force ReMinD to go for the TB scroll. Ancient Protector is gonna go down. Priestess did hit level 2 thanks to that Overseer camp. Only needing one more kills to get that searing arrows. But yeah, +1 armor is on the way, so the Huntress is already +1, +0. I don't think the same is for. Actually, no, never mind. ReMinD is also going +1, +1. It's just that he does not have any Glaive Throwers of his own, so. Yeah, Glaive Throwers are a pretty good addition to this scenario. It was a very good anti-siege weapon, as well as just anti-Huntress weapon. Troll Warlock camp is going to get cleared finally, and it is going to drop Rune Braces, which not too useful. It's just going to get sold immediately. Picked up for a Scroll of Protection.
Research finished.
There we go, +1, +1 is now done. We do have another Glaive Thrower being added to the mix here, as we are going for a third, it seems. So Check, look to kind of destroy his opponent, to be honest. Yeah, ReMinD on the other hand has a lot of Huntresses under his belt. Check is currently at 45, and ReMinD is at about 43, so yeah, it's kind of even. The only downside, I guess, about manually counting the supply for a player with the default thing is you can't really separate between military and worker supply, so there is that.
Goddess, light my path.
But yeah, that's a lot of Huntresses on ReMinD's side, and a good number of them are actually pretty low health, so I'm not sure if this is necessarily the best choice to be going for. Vampiric Aura is on that Priestess. Not exactly useful because Huntresses are technically ranged, which is kind of the entire point of the Priestess of the Moon. True Shot Aura only affects the ranged units there, so if you have a ranged aura with a melee only aura, I mean, it's kind of conflicting. I'm surprised he hasn't sold it just yet. But I guess he doesn't have any Eternal Wonders to sell that to. as Ancient of War number 1 is going to go down. We do have an Alchemist coming out here as the soul healer for the Red Knight Elf army. Level 3 versus level 3. So both priestess with level 2 True Shot aura. And here we go with this fight. ReMinD needs to be careful not to get in range of that Ancient Protector. Scroll of Protection is just going to be popped there, as it seems like the last Ancient of War is going to go down for check, as well as another Glaive Thrower. So they're exchanging a couple of Huntresses for basically the only production buildings that Czech has is kind of significant, especially since he did just start taking up to Tree of Life, so he will have to spend his very few wisps on the field to be converted back into Tree of Ancient of Wars. But yeah, seems like ReMinD did get tier 2 a lot earlier than his opponent. Glaive Throwers are being a bit of a nuisance here, not able to take anything down per se, but bringing down the Moonwall as well as Ancient of War down so low that just a couple of volleys might even be enough. Anyway, tier 2 for ReMinD. I don't really see what he's using that for aside from the Alchemist here. I am curious what he would be going for. It seems like we are going to have Ancient of Wind being dropped here, as more Glaive Thrower drops being utilized to maybe take down this Ancient of Wonder. Czech is going to pick up that very low hit point Glaive Thrower. Ancient of Wonders does go down, but yeah, I'm curious about this Ancient of Wind. Oh, that is another building. That is just a new one, never mind. But yeah, check. 49 supply. Meanwhile, ReMinD has about 46. Tier 2 is now done for check. What is he going to go for? I have no idea. He spent a lot of resources rebuilding his Ancient of Wars, which is a bit of a problem. But yeah. Honestly, Czech has been getting a lot of aura items with his priestess, to be honest. First it was Vampiric Aura, most likely has been sold since it is kind of pointless in the future. And now he's picked up Devotion Aura here, so Huntresses with pretty pitiful armor, unarmored. Yeah, that extra 1 armor might even be impactful. Or two armor, never mind. It's a lot better than I initially thought. I'm pretty sure this was subjected to like a buff, which is why I'm getting confused here. But yeah, 2 armor is... Who can say no to 2 armor, especially when it was compared to like 1 armor. Supplies are fairly similar. 47 versus 50 here. Czech is slightly ahead, but actually no, even in terms of resources, it looks fairly even.
Have engaged the enemy.
Oh, this is probably not what Czech
Your
would
building
want.
is complete.
Huntress is getting caught out. I say caught out, but it doesn't look like ReMinD's actually going to spend any time because Czech is currently attacking the main base. Do we have any Glaive Throwers? It doesn't seem so. As we do have a Hippogriff in the air. I'm not... Where on earth is that Zeppelin?
Research finished.
I have no idea where the Zeppelin is. Whether or not that the Hippogriff actually went for a triple, quadruple kill. But yeah, Czech's supply did actually dip a little bit, so he might have actually lost that Zeppelin while above those trees there. Because normally if you take down a Zeppelin, they just get a slow debuff for quite some time. But if they die over like impassable terrain, then they're just insta-killed. So could be what happened. Yeah, now it is ReMinD, the one at 50 supply. Meanwhile, Czech is at 45. Still playing hard to get, it seems. it is a little unlucky that the ore item that that Czech didn't pick up was neither an unholy or endurance ore, because this chase fiasco thing would be a lot more bearable if you had a movement speed ore. And he's still running. Alchemist, very close to level 3 it seems. He does have a point in the acid bomb. Most likely picking up healing spray level 2. But then again, with this tracker I can't actually track that, so yeah, I will see very soon.
Your building is complete.
Okay, while this chase is going on, we are hopefully seeing what on earth ReMinD's doing. Nothing, it seems. I have no idea if he's gonna commit to Ancient of Wind units or even transition Ancient of Lore units. Czech, on the other hand, it looks kind of the same, to be honest. Oh, never mind. We do have double Ancient of Lores being placed down on the left side here, and Dryads are the next transition, it seems. Czech even going into low upkeep. So, normally Dryads would be the natural transition from Mass Huntresses.
Research finished.
And ReMinD hasn't really been producing any glaive throwers to counteract enemy huntresses, so yeah, this Dryad thing might actually be pretty decent.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Alchemist being picked up here as the second hero for Czech. Not putting point into anything just yet. He is going to pick up the nerfed Grade A mana potion. I used to restore 300 mana, now only restores 250. Basically hit all the mana items aside from, I guess, Pendant of Mana, the stronger version of the pendant. But yeah, now we're gonna go for a fight. Yes, indeed we are. Healing Spray is gonna cast by ReMinD as Czech is going to be using that scroll of protection to try and keep his units alive as long as possible. TP scroll from ReMinD, so yep, that is going to be pretty short-lived. 69 supply for Czech versus about 47 for ReMinD, so you can see there that one of the very few reasons, or one of the reasons why Czech was able to take that pretty commandingly. Although I will say I am a little surprised that he has kind of forgotten to go glaive throwers. But yeah, I guess Dryads with their piercing does extra damage to Huntresses, so Dryads kind of pretty good counters against those guys. ReMinD is starting to produce a couple of archers here. I'm not entirely sure why. But yeah, the gold mines are running out for both sides. About 3 to 4 minutes, I would say.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy. Research building.
Acid bomb being put onto most of those huntresses there, as they try their best to go after the Ancient of War. Dryads looking pretty plentiful, to be honest. Another scroll protection is going to get used by the Priestess of the Moon for Czech. He is slowly advancing here. 57, not 57, 56 for ReMinD. Meanwhile, 69 still for Czech. He is going to be continuously fighting this. He's about to get a concave on his opponent. Maybe if his units were spread out a little better, he might be able to get that commanding surround. But regardless, supply is still looking pretty strong for the blue side here, as a couple of huntresses are going to fall down simultaneously thanks to those bouncing blades. Dryads haven't really been contested all too much as well. You can see that the alchemists are kind of working overtime. I believe ReMind's... Oh, never mind. I thought he still had his mana potion, but it seems like he did use it all up. I'm spotted right now. 36 for ReMind, 55 for Check. This does look pretty bad for ReMind, I'm not gonna lie. Alchemist for ReMind has now dropped down to pretty low HP. Thankfully, it's gonna get healed up with the Moonwall. Yeah, Priestess. It's level 5 versus level 3. This is such a huge difference, honestly. The True Shot Aura, for one, is just... it's a big difference. But yeah, I think it was just the fact that Czech had almost an 80 supply army, meanwhile ReMind was playing a little conservative. Alchemist is going to be forced to recall, it seems. Only 100 gold left on the main gold mine for ReMind. I believe Czech has fully mined out, so yeah, these players will need to start finding some place new to go. Where that is, I have no idea, because this gold mine has been cleared out and this one hasn't really been cleared out. Priestess getting kind of close to level 6, which I'm super excited about. I do like Starfall a lot. Archers have been spotted.
Goddess,
Where on
light
earth
my
is
path.
the other units there? Here they are. And a Zeppelin once again. Might
Our
be going
warriors have
for
engaged
this
the enemy.
this camp here. It does look kind of tough with just archers though. Expansion seems like is going to be on the top left here. Alright, Granite Golem, big beefy boy dealing chaos damage, is going to drop and he is going to be given a potion of divinity there, so the longest lasting vulnerability potion, 25 seconds. I'm not sure how useful that is, to be honest. Cause yeah, if you do use that invuln, it basically, I would say it basically just evolves into just kill the next unit. I don't have to kill a hero to win the game, I can just kill
Our warriors
the
have
rest of the
engaged
units
the
there,
enemy.
which is a little weird because we're going into mass archers for ReMind. I don't exactly know who would win in a matchup between archers and triads, but yeah, I guess if ReMind gets an absurd amount of archers on the field, maybe he has a chance. Okay, well, here we go with a fight here.
Your building is complete.
Still looks like a pretty decent split between Dryads and Huntresses. We are seeing a couple of archers being added to the mix here as well. Which is kind of weird to say because, like, the game started with both sides ignoring their archers, but yeah, now we have archers. And they're being hammered by the slow poison on the Dryads as well as yeah, the searing arrows from the Priestess. I mean, it kind of looks like game, to be honest. 45 versus Czechs versus ReMind's yeah, 33. It seems like that's just gonna be game as Czech looking pretty good, able to clinch the victory. That game was it kind of got slow in the end, I would say. But yeah, both sides with very similar playstyles, or at least build orders. So that was interesting to see. Priestess, Alchemist. I'm not sure if that's gonna be the meta, but yeah, I guess it would be better than Keeper Alchemist. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and I will see you guys again next time.